So, welcome everyone to our Team Pure Results call. I know that Tuesday we had a call with Bob, but I'm the leader of the week, so Shannon had a special call for me to share some training, and I'm way excited. So, a little bit about me. I started a few years ago with coaching. I grew up in Chicago and in the foster care system. So limiting thoughts and beliefs started at a very young age for me, and I developed a very strong learning disability. So building big dreams really wasn't a big part of my life. Fast forward to now, I'm a mom with two beautiful boys, one a biological, one adopted. My husband and I have fostered over 29 different kids in the past 2.5 years, and we have a foster daughter right now that's gorgeous, and we love her very much. So a little bit of reverse, I want to go back in my life. When I moved to Arizona, I moved here and I didn't really have anything to do because I didn't have any friends, so I joined a gym. And before that, the first and only time I really had with fitness was I went running with a friend from beauty school, and I felt like I was going to die because I've never ran before, and she had a heart rate monitor. I remember running with this girl, and I was like, fitness is not for me. I can't do this. But then I decided to join a gym. I'm in Arizona, and it started taking these classes. I don't know if you've heard of them, the Les Mills Pump and Body Combat. And that's kind of where I fell in love with fitness, and that's where my journey started with health and fitness, was those classes. And meanwhile, while I was in foster care, I developed a learning disability, and also when I was 14, I was put on antidepressants. But when I moved to Arizona, I decided not to fill my prescription. When I started these fitness classes, I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm not even going to fill my prescription. I'm just going to keep going to these fitness classes. And my husband knew I didn't fill it, and I felt like that was like a time in my life when I knew that I had control over something. And at that point, that was the first time in my life that I didn't know that you had control, or that you had any ability to control your destiny, any aspect of your life. So here I am going to the gym, getting these results, having this mental empowerment, and also having these physical results. I thought to myself, like, wow, if I can control this part of my life, how I can probably control every other aspect of my life. I knew I became a better friend. Inside, I personally really wanted to do something that empowered women. I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I never really knew how to do it. I knew I was really into fitness, and I loved it. At the time, I was a stylist and talked about fitness a lot, and I did the home workout programs and stuff. But I knew deep down inside, I really wanted to empower other people. But I didn't really know an outlet to how to share my story or how to even start with that. So I thought about different things like personal training, and I realized that you only get an hour with people. And I was like, okay, you only get an hour with these people, and you really can't contribute to the other aspects of their life. So that's probably not for me. Fitness instructor, I think I thought it was awesome, but same thing. I didn't really think it panned out with how much you made for the hour that you're spending. And you really, like I said, you only have 1 hour with people. So, it was always in the back of my head, and I was always searching for something, but I never really found something that I could say like, oh, this is it, this is what I want to do. And luckily, we had some people over from church, a new friend, and she came over with her kids, and we hit it off right away. She was really into fitness, and so we were talking about it, and she, I was so impressed with who she was and what she was about, and she was really impressed with me. She was really blown away about how much I knew about the fitness industry, and but mostly how much I knew about Beachbody. And then she told me what she did for Beachbody, that she stayed home with her girls, and she built a business by empowering other people and running challenge groups, all this stuff. And when she told me that, I remember the excitement. I remember the day she told me that, because I sat there and I was like, whoa, like I could do that. This is my outlet. This is where I can share my story and I can empower people. And this is it. I mean, I felt like I kind of won the lottery when I started gung-ho in the business. I was so excited. And I really believe that if you change, your health and fitness, that you could pretty much change any other aspect of your life. I believe that if you authentically share your story, that you can change people's lives with your story. And I believe no matter what your financial or rank goal is with this business, if you do the work, you can achieve it. Anybody can achieve it. If it's paying for your groceries, if it's making six figures, our path has been paid for us already. The possibilities with income and all that have been really shown in our team. So anyways, that's just a little bit about me and my story and why I'm doing a team call and all that. So my team call is about overcoming fear by taking action. Once it's kind of funny because I'm really scared to do a big team call for Pure Results, the big team. So here I am taking action and actually doing it. So I'm pretty excited. So when I asked Shannon to do this, when Shannon asked me to do this call, I thought to myself, okay, well, what do you want me to talk about? And she said, well, I like to hear your ideas. And I just blurted out this overcoming fear by taking action. It's probably something like I heard her say before or something, but sometimes you say things because it's your struggle. Okay, you think about things and you analyze things and you overwhelm yourself with your thoughts. And I blurted this, I messaged it out to her and she's like, perfect. And I was like, oh gosh, like, okay. So here I am and I Googled it. I Googled overcoming fear by taking action. And so I started searching and started getting information. And I thought to myself, like the first thing I got was from this website called The Tiny Buddha. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm sharing this because it seriously applies to every single one of us, no matter if you're just learning about the business or if you're going for a Star Diamond or Elite or whatever you're going for. These 5 tips are amazing and I'm so excited to share them with you. So tip number 1 is start at the beginning. One reason why we hesitate when we have something we're afraid of to do is because we are thinking only of the end result, likely feeling incapable of getting to that point from where we are. Sorry, it's kind of mixed in with the decoration. Oh my goodness. Like I remember when I started this business and I thought to myself, I want to be successful. I want to be a successful coach. And I would see all these coaches and I would stare at Janelle Summers' posts and how she got like 100 likes and all that stuff. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I want to be just like that. Like I was so focused on the end result that I paralyzed myself. I completely paralyzed myself in the beginning of the business because I didn't even know where to start. So all I did was laser focus on the end result and I kept going nowhere. So forget about the end result. Forget about going for Elite for a second. Forget about becoming Emerald for just a second. Forget about going to get to Diamond or getting your first paycheck. Just even if I know those are small steps, but just forget about it for just a second if it seems so huge to you. But at least, you don't have to forget about it completely, but take your mind off of it for just a second. And for whatever it is, just take it off for a second. The more focused you stay on the actions you have to take to get to the end result, the less likely you actually take the actions. So just focus on the first step. Start here. I love that. I seriously love that because it can apply to anybody. If you are a first coach and you really want to do this business and you've been like, oh, I really want to get results first. I want to get physical results before I start or whatever. I would take the first step with that is joining one of our 6-day Get Started Right groups and start doing those assignments. If you've already done that and you want a little bit more, start one of our coach mentorships groups. If you already done that, there are steps, the first step that you can take. If you haven't been doing the business at all for a while or you've just been not doing anything, the best way, personally, I reignite my fire is to start a clean slate, like free challenge, and start it and get people engaged with you and start talking about the ignitement of this business, why we are doing what we're doing. My favorite part is asking people about their goals, helping them getting to their physical goals. I mean, that right there, just start with that. Start from the beginning. And that could even just be setting up your websites. I mean, you need to know where to start to take that first step. I mean, it is so vital to find wherever you are at every mess is to find that first step of where you need to go. So here, and it falls into the next step. Remember that small steps count too. And in this business, only small steps count. Only small steps count. Yes, it is exciting to see like Shannon's income. That's amazing. When we see that, we're like, wow, how did she get there? Oh my goodness. Really? It is the monotonous work that woman has put into messaging people, doing every little step constantly throughout her business. That is how, yes, it's exciting. We need to celebrate big successes like hitting diamond or hitting emerald or your first paycheck, your first $1,000, whatever it is. It's exciting and it feels really empowering, but the only way to get to those points are those little baby steps. So this is really good because I totally related to this statement. Your brain, your ego, that limiting, fearful part within us will try to convince you that that your steps are too small. They couldn't possibly count. It says so. Just not try, or so better to not try. That's lying to you. So yes, that one last message that you give somebody before you stop your business hours, that is important. Or that one last phone call, no matter how many no's you got that day, that one last phone call, it's going to make or break you. Just that one last step. And I just really want to emphasize on this about the small steps, because I had such an ego when I first started this business. I wanted to look.
Hey, Marcy.
Yeah.
Sorry, one sec. We can't see your screen. We'd love to see your awesome slides.
Oh my goodness. Seriously?
It's okay. You're doing awesome. We just don't want to miss out on the slides.
Thanks, Shannon.
Sure, no problem.
Dang it. Okay. Well, then I'm going to go back up really here to step 2. So if anybody's doing the recording, you can screenshot it. And then here's step, oh no, that was step 1. Here's step 2. So here's back to step 1. I'm just going to, so you can screenshot it if you want. And here's step 2. So I wanted to go back to the small steps, because this is important. I feel like this is the biggest important thing when it comes to fear. I had a really big ego when I started the business. I wanted to look perfect on everything, and I wanted to look like a perfect fitness professional. I wanted to, whatever. And I thought that is how success was going to come to me. And it had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with starting small and making a small community and building that, or building your Instagram account, building that, not having thousands and thousands of followers, just even that one person you talk to. If you decide that you're talking to whatever it is, a lot of coaches will say five your life away, like 5 new contacts, 5 follow-ups, 5 invites to, your challenge, 5 invites to coaching, like that. These small steps is vital to our behavior. And I feel like when it comes fear-based, when you're overwhelmed and you're like, oh my goodness, there's so many trainings, so much stuff going on, just remember that the most vital part of your business is always going to be your plug and play. Like if you have new people going in those slots every single day, you're going to be moving your business, and that is so important. So I just wanted to share that. So learning about the driver's permit, this guy, whoever wrote this, from this article that I got, he talked all about learning how to drive, and I thought it was pretty sweet. So I want to share this with you guys. Learning about the learner's permit process led me to pick up a driver's manual. which led me to spending time every day studying the manual, which led me to scheduling a permit test. All these little steps built up to ultimately learning how to drive. So those beginner steps, like printing out the Get Started Right papers, you know, like I just remember doing that the first time and being like, oh, I don't need to do this. Like, that's not going to get me successful. But yes, it is. You have to do that. You cannot skip any of the steps when it comes to this business. You cannot skip, you know, anything. I don't, you know, and yes, you're going to have to find things that make it work. But I think Jeff Hill said this, but you don't have to recreate the wheel in this business, but you have to use it. You have to use like the steps that were taught, you know? So it's really important. Okay. And here is the third tip on overcoming fear by taking action, realizing it's not how you feel, it's what you do. Okay, I'm scared right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous. I'm like, my hands are sweaty. And I'm nervous because I'm talking to Star Diamond coaches, if they're listening to the replay, and we have a really big team, and it's nerve-wracking to train people, you know, that I feel like should be training me, you know, so, but it's not. I'm still here, you know, I'm still here, and I'm still giving that effort. It's the steps that count, not how you feel when you take them. Seriously. When you see posts when people are doing their workouts and you're like, oh my goodness, I could never post that. Do you have any idea how that coach feels when they post it? They're scared out of their minds. I don't care how successful you are in this business. It's scary sometimes to post your workouts, like when you're doing them and you post them, but they still do it. You know, they still show up. They're still doing it. And I just wanted to make sure you know that no matter how good you're at this business, there's coaches that have to do tons of personal development, like Lindsay Matway, to get on a national wake-up call because of her old thinking patterns, you know? So remember, it's not how you feel. You know, I battle a lot with anxiety, like a lot. And I thought to myself, okay, I have these feelings and I have these symptoms and I have all this stuff. You know, I cannot do a live team call, or I cannot do anything live because of my anxiety. But I'm still here. I showed up, and I'm going to celebrate that. And here, I wanted to share this one little part. When I first took my first driving lesson, my hand shook so badly, I wasn't sure I would be able to hold the steering wheel. But I got through the lesson. The first step further in my journey to learn. And I decided that I would celebrate the fact that I showed up in spite of fear, rather judge myself as a failure for how I physically felt. So I highly recommend to, whenever you're nervous and you do something and it's so nerve-wracking, celebrate it, because you know, it doesn't matter how you felt when you did it. The first time anybody spoke, you know, like Stephanie Chico, any of them, they were introverts when they started. Shannon, she's actually an introvert, and she could do this business. So it doesn't matter how you feel. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable. And I might have different symptoms than you. I might have anxiety and you might not, or whatever. But you're going to have physical symptoms of fear, and that's okay. Still do it. Still go for it, because it doesn't matter how you feel. When you're doing it, it's doing it. It's just showing up and actually doing it. So that is so powerful. Next slide. Getting high off taking action. Oh my goodness. You guys know, okay, if you've been in the business for a while and you get that message from someone that's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I am going to join your challenge. Who gets so excited, like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna join my challenge, like this is awesome. Or like the first time you do a team call and like all your coaches are on the screen and you're like, oh my gosh, they're all here and they're all wanting to talk with us and we're gonna connect with our stories. Like you get this high and it goes away, though. It does. It goes away. But you need to stretch that feeling like taffy. You need to take those screenshot your messages, screenshot those, write those moments down. There's a moment in my business, I guess, career that I never really knew what it was doing at the time, but this was an amazing feeling because I wanted to do this business, right? So Shannon sat me down in the beginning, way in the beginning, was like, what do you want to do, Marcy? How do you want to build your business? So I'm like, I want to do a Fit Club. And she's like, okay, I'm going to help you do that. So I was like, well, I want to make like flyers and I want to be on the flyers and I want to hand out flyers. And she's like, fine. Okay, we'll do that. Let's take pictures and let's do that. And like, she was like, we're going to do it. Like, it needs to be done like in like 2 seconds. Like, we have to get this done. You keep pushing forward. So I'm like, okay, like, can't dilly-dally around here. And then I remember getting those flyers and showing her the flyers and me and her looking at each other and freaking out. Okay, I'm not saying that there's a Fit Club like blew up out of control or anything, but that moment, it was a high from taking action, regardless of the results. Regardless of the income potential, or at that moment, we got excited just from taking action. Like, I remember that feeling and I have it journaled down and I kind of go back to that feeling sometimes. When I'm like on my last message of the day and I'm like, am I really going to be able to do this? Or am I really a great, like, you question your leadership, you question everything. Go back to those feelings of excitement. If you've been to a Super Saturday, if you've been to Summit, bring up those emotions again. Don't forget those emotions because use it as leverage. They share, if you can screenshot this or write this. After my first lesson, I wrote down how I felt: excitement, proud, happy. I referred to it again before my next couple of lessons when I forgot how good I felt and needed to be reminded to help tone down my fear. So remembering taking action that you're terribly afraid of, you're going to get high from it. It's exciting. It's empowering. It's just amazing. So don't forget that. Like, don't forget that. When you tell someone I asked someone on Instagram, I said, just so you know, I messaged.
Marcy, we lost your slides again. Sorry, we really want to see that because that was an awesome point. You're doing so awesome. We just really don't want to miss out on your awesome.
Can you see them?
Yep, that's perfect. Keep going.
From the disconnection?
Keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say. But okay, so let's go on. I'm just going to go on to the next tip. Okay. Know that action builds confidence. The first time I did a challenge group, I was so scared because I felt like I was going to fail. I failed dramatically. Nobody posted in my challenge group. And I remember it. And I would remember being like, oh, I failed. But then I did it again. And 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 now we have a challenge group. And yes, I'm connected to the contest. So it's a lot more excitement because we have the transformational contest going on. But I'm like, oh my goodness, this is getting me and my husband working out together. And like, it's this exciting feeling. And I feel confident. I'm like, man, my challenge group is going awesome. So just remember that when you are doing something in the beginning, you're not going to be confident. You're not going to be confident when you first do a phone call. My welcome calls to my challengers in the beginning, I remember being scared out of my mind, being like, okay, here we go. I'm going to call this person. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And just sitting there and being like, talking to somebody that I didn't even know, but it keeps you going. And once you keep doing it over and over and over again, it's going to become a behavior. With me, I am not training my new coaches. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% confident because I haven't been doing it for very long. So I'm not going to have that building confidence of it, but I'm going to keep doing it. And I know the more I do it, the better I'm going to become at it. So I'm just going to share one. You guys can screenshot this if you want this tip, but deciding to take action to overcome my fear of learning how to drive has not only meant a new skill, it has also brought me confidence to my ability to learn new things, handle mistakes, work towards and achieve goals, meet new people, and much, much more. Okay, when I learned to drive, it didn't do that for me. But being in a challenge group and knowing that I didn't need a trainer and I didn't need to, I could do this myself, liberated me to be like, you know what? I can do this business. Like, I can do this business. If I can work out it, like if I can make myself work out at home, you know, and nobody's around me to tell me what to do, besides obviously my coach or my accountability partner, whatever is my challenge group, then I can do this business, you know? And it's really about just having that accountability, moving forward, and knowing that the more you do it, the better you're going to, and that's how it's going to build with confidence. And I wanted to actually, with this slide, I wanted to ask Shannon if she could share some experiences of either training new coaches or doing webinars or anything where you were nervous and now you're confident.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm loving this presentation. I have tons of notes, so thanks. It's going awesome. Yeah, I mean, everything I've done has been scary. I remember, you know, just from the beginning, like I went to a Super Saturday by myself. I heard we were supposed to go to Super Saturdays, and I went to one in Utah. I didn't have a team. I don't even know if I was an Emerald coach yet. I was just barely starting, and that was really scary because, yeah, I started in December, and I went to the Super Saturday in January, and so I was just barely getting started. So that was scary, going, you know, meeting new people in person. Doing my first webinar, it hasn't been that long. It's been just under 2 years. But I remember just sweating bullets, you know, just like so nervous. And
Yeah,
we're going to have a little guest here. Sorry, we have Sophia. I'll get it right after. I will open it. Okay, we'll do it right after, okay? So yeah, I remember doing the webinar and calling Trisha, because you guys know Trisha. We did it together, and she was excited, and we did it, and yeah, but just like, I mean, everything I've done in this business has totally taken me out of my comfort zone, and it's been so scary. I mean, even posting my before and after pictures, like, I hate my before pictures, you know, or just now exercising and showing myself pregnant, like, that's like way out of my comfort zone. This is like in my hiding stage. The last 2 months of the pregnancy is like hiding from cameras, not like showing anyone how I look. And so anyway, but yeah, just every single thing I've done has been so scary, but every time I've done it, I've gained confidence, and it's gotten easier, and the more I do it, the better it gets. So yeah, totally agree.
Thank you. No, I really wanted to ask you that because, you know, when you see really successful coaches, you think to yourself, you know, well, there's certain things that I've done that I've actually thought to myself, how did Shannon feel when she first did this? Or I think, like, how did, you know, even the top coaches or whoever, like, you can refer to whoever, they've had their own fears. Like, it's scary, but they got out of their comfort zone, and so can you. So I wanted to share one more slide. We only have 10 more minutes, I guess, left, or 9 more minutes until this meeting ends. So thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. I don't know who Solomon Stone is. Maybe you guys do, but I found this quote, and it's so true. I'm so sick and tired of thinking about doing stuff, and I'm so sick and tired of analyzing how to do it. It's really about action. And I'm so grateful that I blurted that out to Shannon, that overcoming my fears by taking action, because it was probably like the deepest struggle with the business that I have, because taking action takes a lot of time for me. And now I know the statistics, I know these tips, and I know that they're going to help me, and they're going to help me grow my business. So what action can you take to overcome your fear today with your business? And I want you to really ask yourself that. And if it's starting anything, if it's, you know, asking those people that you've been thinking about learning a little bit about the business, or asking those people that you've been talking to about joining your challenge, or about asking those people to start their own challenge, or start to actually learn and grow their business and not just be a discount coach. So know that there's always going to be a little bit of fear, But the only way to overcome that fear is by taking action. Anything you do, especially this business. So I hope that my tips and my training has helped anybody that has watched it. I love everybody on this team. I have watched all of you guys grow. I've watched all of you guys succeed, and I'm so grateful to be a part of something so amazing. And thank you, Shannon, so much for letting me speak and be a leader this week. It's opened my eyes to what it is to lead, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Marcy. Just like you say, when you shared your story, when I first met you, I felt like, you were the coach and I was the person looking into it, because you knew so much about Beachbody and you were so excited and passionate about it. And just meeting you kind of lit a fire for me to want to do more and see the potential. So I'm grateful for you. And I think you're doing an awesome job leading this week. I know that's a big out of your comfort zone opportunity. So thank you. That was awesome. Congratulations.
Awesome. All right. So
Marcy, can you hear me, Marcy?
yeah, who's that?
That's Jennifer Rutowski. I've been listening to this call. I'm not on my computer, though. I just wanted to say, hey, you're awesome, and I love you, and you're doing fantastic, and I hope that I can copy everything that you're doing, because I don't know what to do either.
That is something a coach loves to hear. So we, I mean, in general, we're all in this together, and I'm looking for people that want to do this business. So I'm so happy that I've connected with you and I could share everything I know. And you are married into this huge team of awesome coaches and awesome sister coaches and baby coaches and, what I call everybody. So thank you for sharing and commenting and everything. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. Thank you again.
Okay.
It was a good presentation.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close it, and thank you guys so much for being on the call.
Awesome. Thanks, Marcy. Good job. It was awesome.